Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel, continuing our discussion on understanding the Rahu and Ketu's placement in different houses of your astrological chart. In this video, we will try to understand Rahu's placement in the 6th house and Ketu's placement in the 12th house of your astrological chart. So guys, I always say this thing that more than the zodiac sign, it's the house placement of the planet which becomes very important, because zodiac sign just tells about that in which style or in which theme planet will manifest results, but where exactly planet will manifest results, that you get to know via scrutinizing planet's house placement in someone's chart. And that is the only reason, guys, like when we talk about one of the very widely followed field of astrology, which is Lal Kitab, Red Book Astrology, over there it's the house placement of the planets which is given utmost importance. And over here, guys, I also want to request to all of my audience that even if you do not want to follow other forms of astrology, but there is one specific attribute of Lal Kitab which is about the yearly predictions, which is called as the Varsh Phal Kundali. So giving attention over there can actually give you very deeper insights, because this is a kind of knowledge which is chiefly followed for remedies. So let's say, for example, and you do not have to get deeper into it, like if you will see in your Varsh Phal, like yearly chart, that this planet is placed over here. So all what you have to do is that you have to just search on the Google that Saturn in the 7th house in the Varsh Phal. You will get to know about the results and the remedies to follow. I actually want to start uploading videos on Lal Kitab as well, but I have to go very deeper into it, and that's gonna consume a lot of time. So now we will just focus on the Parashari or the Vedic astrology, which we are already doing. So yes, guys, now talking about Rahu's placement in the 6th house first. So this is a kind of a placement where majority of the astrologers agree that this is one of the best dignified placement of Rahu and Ketu to manifest very good results. Now guys, first of all, you have to understand the key attributes of the house in consideration. So definitely 6th house is the house of your enemies, your work ethics, your daily work life, any of the concerns of health and obstacles we generally see from the 6th house. Now try to understand this thing that Rahu chiefly operates on a mental plane. Like Rahu tells about the kind of thoughts which come to you, someone's mind. So here Rahu becomes extraordinary competitive. Like the person actually needs to compete with someone, solve any problem, arbitrate somewhere, or put his mind either for competing or solving some issues or problems. So that is the only reason you will find this kind of placement in the charts of very successful politicians, very successful lawyers. Like it has been written to such an extent that native will be able to destroy all of his enemies if this axis is going to be working out in its best dignity. Also guys, like if I were to say, this is a kind of a typical placement which actually act as a equivalent energy to Saturn and Mars being conjunct in one house. So this is a kind of a very power-packed combination via which Rahu manifests results. The only flaw side of this placement is that, let's say for example, if the overall chart is indicating a very manipulative personality, very mischievous, a very unethical, unlawful, criminal-minded personality. So over there as well, in the older times, like even not in older times, even now, like whenever you see all those posters of the wanted criminals, so over here Rahu can actually become extraordinary mischievous and you can get fame, but making you notorious. So this is one of the aspect of Rahu's placement in the 6th house. Also guys, when we talk about the concerns of the health, so I always say this thing that Rahu and Ketu are like chameleon, specifically Rahu. So over there you have to see that how overall chart is responding to it. Now let's say for example, let me give you a random example. If for a Aries ascendant person, now if you will find that the ascendant lord Mars is weak, being placed in the 6th house of health related concerns, and over and above that now Rahu is conjunct with Mars with this kind of lagna, then this will definitely indicate towards consistent debt related issue, credit related issue, health related issue, and native's own manipulation might become a reason for his fights and quarrels with his brothers, with his maternal uncles as well. So that is the only reason, guys, that this is a kind of a placement which will give a lot of power to this mischievous planet. How the overall chart is responding and behaving, that is how you can come to any conclusion. Like the way, guys, we always say this thing that Rahu gets controlled by a well supported, well placed Mercury, and Ketu is controlled by a very well placed Jupiter in the natal chart. So in any way, if you will find these planets to be in a state of strength and dignity, then we can say that this axis can actually manifest some very good results. But again, guys, definitely, because 6th house is also the house of diseases as well. So if Rahu's energy is not working out in a dignified way, native might have to go through unusual problems, that you are not finding yourself healthy, but even after taking all the treatments or getting all the tests, nothing is getting diagnosed. So these are the kind of some problems which person has to go through. This is a kind of a typical placement which is like where generally it has been advised that first of all, native has to remain very respectful, and he has to maintain a very good terms with his siblings and with his maternal uncles, because Rahu can create confusion over there, and ultimately eventually the attributes represented by Rahu and the house are gonna suffer that ways. So because of which you have to stay very respectful, and you have to kind of tolerate any of the issues on the account of problems with your siblings or with your maternal uncles. Now, guys, with this kind of placement, it has been generally advised that having a dog as a pet, or like if you cannot have a dog as a pet, so like supporting any of the charities or NGOs which are doing any of the work for the rehabilitation, for helping, supporting, guarding dogs, so that can be considered as one of the very good remedy. But in a way, guys, we say that specifically a complete black color dog represents the energy of Rahu. So having a dog as your pet can be considered as one of the very good remedy for giving more power to this 6th house placed Rahu in your natal chart. Now, guys, let's take up our attention towards the house where Ketu is placed. So now definitely, guys, Ketu's placement in the 12th house is considered as very good, because Ketu is the ultimate liberation giving planet. Like when we talk about, like specifically, guys, like see, astrology is something which you can even do if your Mercury is very strong. Like astrology at the end of the day has got lot of calculation, lot of mathematics which is involved over there. But when we talk about all those people who have got some sort of magical touch to their healing, to their prediction, to their intuitive aspect, so this is a kind of a psychic, esoteric, mysterious touch which Ketu can add to someone's personality, and nothing could be better than that. If you're operating on a domain, like let's say for example with this kind of placement, like if your Lagna is of, like let's say for example it's Aries, so that means Ketu is placed in the sign of the Jupiter in the 12th house, or Jupiter is individually conjunct with Ketu, or Jupiter is aspecting this placed Ketu, then Ketu is going to be definitely in a strong state to manifest good results. I always say this thing, guys, that if you actually want to get the good results from Ketu, so first of all, whatsoever you are doing, being very perfectionist, doing things in a very microscopic way, like getting into the deeper nuances of your task, of your profession, doing everything with a very good intent, and along with that being very harmonious with nature in any way. Like guys, whether this could be you have this habit of feeding pigeons, or going for a walk at beach, appreciating the beauty of the nature, or even the place where you live, like designing your home completely as per the principles of Vastu. Like when we talk about Vastu and all these like principles, they also tell about living harmoniously with the science, with the nature. So if you will inculcate all these attributes which Ketu represent, like being kind towards Ketu's spiritual, mystical side only, like if you will see Ketu to be empowered in someone's chart, people just start talking about, okay, renunciate everything, take the path of spirituality, don't think about any materialistic lifestyle. But if you will get deeper into it, Ketu also represents your male progeny, and Ketu in a way is also responsible for your travels, for transfers, promotion and enjoyment as well, like doing something wholeheartedly. Like trust me guys, I have met so many genius artists with the influence of or prominence of Ketu. Like Ketu being conjunct with Sun in the 11th house, in the 10th house, can give you magnanimous fame. So do not restrict the importance of Ketu only to spirituality. Definitely Ketu represents complete renunciation or enlightenment, but even on a material plane, it holds the key to give you fame, riches and good results. So yes guys, this is what this placement tells about, and generally what has been seen that if Ketu is operating on a higher octane in the 12th house, being very well guarded, supported by Jupiter over there, so male progeny tend to remain a reason for happiness, support, success or glory and fame in the family. So this is how you can study this placement, where Rahu in the 6th house will definitely make you very smart, competitive, very fierce, and Ketu's placement in the 12th house will definitely keep your one feet very strongly rooted, grounded on the material plane, and other feet of yours is going to be very much attuned with the nature, with the cosmos, where prophetic dreams, all sort of epiphanies, circumstances, nature, omens will all the time be guiding you. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this axis placement of Rahu and Ketu. For furthermore updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.